It looks good. Good morning. I think we'll go ahead and get started. You folks are the lucky ones that came early because the parking ramp is full, and I understand that there's a lot of challenge with people parking, but we do want to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Wisdom Dialogue series. I'm Jo Kreitzer, the director of the Center for Spirituality and Healing, and this event is hosted by the Center for Spirituality and Healing and the Katherine J. Densford International Center for Nursing Leadership. My co-host for this series is Dr. Dan Peshet, who's the director of the Densford Center, and it will be Dan who's facilitating the session this morning. I want to say a few words about the impetus for this series and the outcomes that we anticipate that you will leave with. The Center for Spirituality and Healing has a long interest in advancing nursing leadership and integrative health and healing, and we share in common with the Densford Center interest in innovation, leadership, design thinking, and health policy. And we decided to collaborate on this series we had in mind several objectives that we wanted to achieve. First of all, we wanted to bring to the community thought leaders who have some perspective, some interesting perspective, some wisdom to share regarding some aspect of leadership. So that was our first objective. Secondly, we wanted to introduce to the community new processes for emerging groups such as this and such as dialogue that bring us into a deeper understanding and in the process extract wisdom not only from the thought leader that we bring in, but also from all of you, because we really feel like there's a lot of wisdom all around this room. And thirdly, we wanted to use a creative process, graphic illustration, to capture the insights and learning, not only today, but over this whole series. So I offer a special welcome to Cheryl Cardis, who's our graphic illustrator, who will be capturing much of the conversation both today as well as tomorrow. When Dan and I began planning this series and talking about nurses that inspired us, Jos de Blok rose to the top of our list. I had learned fairly recently about a revolution that was going on within the Netherlands, a revolution in home care that was producing better outcomes for patients, saving the government billions of dollars, and revitalizing in many ways the profession of nursing. Jos is the founder and the CEO of Buurtzorg Nederland, an organization that over 6 years has grown from 4 nurses and 1 team to over 500 teams and 6,500 nurses. I was saying during conversations yesterday, I've never seen a social innovation scale with the speed that this has scaled. As a measure of employee satisfaction and engagement, for 3 years in a row, Buurtzorg Nederland was named the #1 employer in the Netherlands. I think that's quite an astonishing accomplishment. Today, the focus is going to be on having a dialogue, learning about Jos as a leader and what motivated and inspired him. Tomorrow is a workshop that is focused more on the structure, the function, and the processes of this amazing model of care. So if you are intrigued by what you learned today and didn't register yet for the workshop tomorrow, you're still invited to do that. The workshop will be over in the Kaufman Union in the Mississippi room, so just keep in mind that there is that change in location. We also welcome today colleagues in St. Cloud and Rochester. So we have 15 people in St. Cloud that are joining us today and 7 or 8 people in Rochester. So while we are not showing them on the screen, they are live with us. And during a report back session, we will include them in the conversation. This series is made possible due to the generous support of the Middleman Family Foundation, so it's important to acknowledge that. Their support is allowing us to bring in amazing speakers and to create not only this series of dialogues, but also enduring materials such as videos that will become part of a larger education and outreach effort. So again, if you're intrigued by what you hear in these series and want to capture that to share with colleagues, we will be making that available. We are pleased that we're able to offer ANCC contact hours for this event, and we welcome your feedback, and we'll use that in planning future dialogues. So please know that we will not want you to leave until you fill out your evaluation form. And then you also can receive a certificate indicating that you have attained those ANCC contact hours. Restrooms are to the left and down the hall. Cass and Fabiana Kit will be at the registration table, the table in here. Lots of folks on the table outside. So if you need anything at all today, don't hesitate to ask. And finally, I want to thank Fabiana, Cass, Diane Lev, and Renee Kumpala, the Director of Continuing Professional Education at the School of Nursing, for all of their assistance in planning the day. So with that, it's really my pleasure to welcome to the podium Dan Peshet, who will introduce the rest of the morning. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Good. All right. Well, thank you, Mary Jo. That was a great introduction. And let's see here if I have my clicker. Forward. Is that right? So as Mary Jo said, we have several threads that we're trying to weave together in a tapestry today. One is the content that you'll take away with. Another is the process. But a third is premises in terms of what are the belief systems that you have and how we might influence those. There's a fellow by the name of Jack Meserow who talks about transformational learning in adults. And he says there's three kinds of reflection, really. There's content reflection, process reflection, and premise reflection. And we invite you to engage in all three of those today. And one of the things we're going to start with, as well as introduce you to, because we want you to take away tools where you will be able to engage people in different conversations in your organizations, we're going to introduce you to a set of processes called liberating structures. And this is the first liberating structure, and it's called impromptu speed networking. So if you would, I'm going to ask you to all stand up and come to the front here. Find this big open space. And this is going to be your challenge. I want you to find a partner, and I'm going to keep time here, very quick, 3 minutes apiece. And I want you to share your answers to these two questions. What is your biggest challenge right now, and what do you hope to get from and contribute to the wisdom dialogue? So if you don't have a partner, raise your hand so someone can find you. And when, at the end of 3 minutes, you're going to hear a little ding, and there will be time to switch. Ready, set, go.